This is about creating the community that we want, that we envision.
The city of Charlottesville is home to only about 16,000 residences. There's a need for about 4,000 new housing interventions. Housing is such a fundamental part of community well-being. We want to pull every lever that we can so that everybody can find housing in Charlottesville.
To become a homeowner for me is the biggest accomplishment I've ever achieved in my life.
I'm building a legacy for my children, for their future.
We have an aggressive strategic plan that calls for us to work in 3 main realms. Building home ownership opportunities in mixed income communities is what people know us best for. But we also work in the rebuilding realms, in communities that are in need of recapitalization. And then the third realm we work in is what we call housing system development. And that's where we're really looking to find solutions across the housing spectrum so that every man, woman, child in this community can find safe, decent, and affordable shelter. The core of what we do is bringing together the community, volunteers, partner families, to help people become homeowners in exchange for their what we call sweat equity. And that is them working on their homes, volunteering, working on their credit. We originate a zero-interest loan indexed to what they can afford, and the equity that they accrue is all theirs.
We've never really had something to really call our own.
I have seen partner families who moved into their homes 2-3 years ago still coming out and passing it forward. In fact, the model that Charlottesville Habitat is following is really not just building one house at a time, but building new communities.
We started looking for a development opportunity in the early 2000s. And Sunrise Trailer Court kicked off what we call the new paradigm, which is moving from homes to communities. And since that time, we've been able to build 9 mixed income communities in the area. The way you achieve progress is for people to get to know each other, share a future. And once that happens, we feel like there's nothing that collectively we can't solve. We believe that we have to work on all levels to align supply and demand. So part of what we do is to reinvest in communities. We've been working with a group of families here in Southwood for about 10 years now. There are 1,500 people here, about 340 trailers. It is the largest single concentration of low-income residents in the area. There are 20 million people in the United States of America who own their trailer, but who do not own the land underneath it. And that is a crisis waiting to happen. We think the way to reinvest in a community without gentrification is to invest in the people who live there and help them create the capacity to be the agents of change in their own community. That's what's really fundamental to Southwood. They've created a plan of development. Each little neighborhood is going to be a product of the imagination of the people who live there.
So here we are in phase 1. Keep this in mind as we go out and start to look at these different neighborhoods.
This will probably end up being somewhere in the neighborhood of 800 to 1,000 units. Our plan is to not displace anybody off-site for even a day.
I'm calling this Planning Commission meeting to order.
I would like to start by telling you about a dream I have for my family. This is a dream that I long for, and it brings me happiness because it would help me provide a better future for my children.
One of the great beauties of Habitat is they work in a community and see not what is missing, but what is there.
Hope our efforts can persuade you to approve the Southwood Development Project. Thank you.
to really move the needle, we really need to move beyond home building. We even need to move beyond community development. And we really need to work on those systemic factors.
It's not just about changing policy, although that's an important component of it. It's largely about finding solutions.
Habitat is a spectacular community partner. The housing system is the first concentric circle they look at, but they look beyond that, understanding that all that they do emanates from the asset in the middle, which is the family.
We look at their employment situation and we connect them to job training and job placement services. We connect them to affordable childcare. We do much more intensive and deeper financial empowerment coaching.
One of the things that we've done that we're most proud of is creating a Pathways to Housing program.
We decided to essentially create sort of a second track to homeownership.
So maybe that is paying off a credit card that may be like $100 monthly payment or something.
And that program really is about working with individuals to increase their income and or reduce their debts.
But I didn't know your credit score counted towards that big.
There is absolutely no reason to fail at becoming a homeowner unless you have put yourself in a position to fail at it. And so they offer everything that you need. It's wonderful.
Habitat alone can't solve the affordable housing problem. It's going to take creative solutions, out-of-the-box thinking. It's going to take public-private partnerships. It's going to take, radical policy changes.
We've never been one to shy away from a challenge. Our job will not be satisfied until we're able to support every family that walks through our door.